Hello, my name is Teresa Valentino, and I am an author. I wrote a book called Dear Jimmy, What a Child Trafficking Survivor Wishes You Knew. And that is my memoir of my life in rape culture, basically. So today, I just have so many things to talk about. I'm going to try to kind of focus and be a little bit clear. I need to talk about Jayme Closs and R. Kelly. The thing with Jayme Closs, I want to say, first of all, I'm really glad that she was able to overcome her attacker and escape. God bless her. And I really am sorry for what the ordeal that she was put through with her parents being murdered and everything. And I'm really glad that she's back. That said, it occurs to me that the only way that a rape survivor can get any kind of social support whatsoever in this world is if she is a wealthy young white girl whose parents are not in any way to blame for what happened to her. So someone with a spotless image, okay, like a little aspirational. Like as a writer, when I wanted to write screenplays, I was automatically told that they always have to be like wealthy people living in an affluent community because people want to watch aspirational movies. Okay, so that automatically turns me off. I don't want to write about a bunch of people that I don't give a shit about because I don't know them. So, but in the same way, then the media definitely works on that same principle and those same ideas. And so when Elizabeth Smart gets kidnapped, or when Jayme Closs gets kidnapped, that fits their narrative perfectly, right? There are Native women who get grabbed up, killed, or pregnant, just like Lacey Peterson, you know, beautiful young pregnant woman just goes missing and her family's freaking out. And, you know, just because she's a Native, it just falls through the cracks because of the jurisdictional situation where the United States government doesn't feel that it has to take any responsibility for them because technically they're not citizens. It's just the shittiest thing in the world. I mean, but it kind of also becomes hurtful for me. I mean, and also, let me, before I move off of that, like, it's really shitty, even for Elizabeth Smart and Jayme Closs, right? Because hopefully, I really like the way that they've done this. They're charging that guy with the two murders and the kidnapping, because those three things should really be enough to send him away for the rest of his life without making her have to talk about the rape situation at all. Okay, and I really hope that that's how this goes. That will be a beautiful thing for me to see in my heart going forward, is if they just charge him with those three things and send him away forever and ever, amen, and they don't make her talk about any of that shit and she gets to maintain her privacy. I think that would be fucking optimal, and I really hope that that's how they're working this, right? Because Elizabeth Smart had no such luck. And even though Elizabeth Smart did fit the narrative that the media is looking for, beautiful young white girl, wealthy family, nicest people you could even imagine, Ed and Lois Smart have to be like the nicest people in the world, did absolutely nothing wrong. They had their daughter safe in bed, and they could not have imagined that this maniac was coming for her. So that fits the media narrative to a T. That's who they can sell as the blameless victim. And even so, she got rape trolled from a stage by the second highest paid comedian, or second or third highest paid comedian in America, Dave Chappelle. Like, a young girl who got kidnapped at knife point by maniacs out of her bed got armchair quarterbacked by a grown man who has probably never even been in a real life fist fight. You know what I mean? And he made lots and lots of money for doing that. Shame on America, shame on the world for laughing at that kind of shit. It's disgusting. So, I mean, Dave Chappelle actually brought an extra racial layer into it by invoking the name of yet another kidnapping survivor. I'm not even going to mention her name. Well, yeah, Erica Pratt. God bless Erica Pratt. She's another one of our very clever little survivors that I take great pride in what she accomplished. But what Erica Pratt had to deal with and what Elizabeth Smart had to deal with were apples and oranges, not because of their races, because of the way that they were abducted, okay? So it's just a false comparison, and it really sucks to throw a kidnapped girl under the bus so that you can falsely elevate another kidnapped girl. I mean, if I was Erica Pratt, I wouldn't fucking appreciate that. So I didn't appreciate him mentioning either of their names in that context, quite honestly, and I think it was a really destructive and shitty conversation for him to have, and he's an asshole. So, But then there's people who are definitely not assholes, okay? You know who's not an asshole? Is Tarana Burke. She started the Me Too movement back in, I want to say, 2006. Long before anybody was trying to care about Harvey Weinstein. And it's a really simple concept that I understood immediately, and it's been 100% in my heart ever since the first time I heard Me Too. Because being a rape survivor is by definition a club that other people shove you into against your will. So the weird thing about it is that other people get to like push you out of society before you even know what's happening. And that's exactly how it goes. So each of us is out here seemingly completely alone in the margins of society because we're like in a prison of other people's lies, basically, that we can't get out of because when we try to talk about it, society greets us with anger, okay, and judgment and scorn. And this is true even if you're white. See, this is the thing that got me upset this morning is I love Tarana Burke, one of my favorite Americans. I couldn't appreciate her anymore. For all of us misfits who are pushed out into society because someone wanted to attack us sexually at some point, we don't have to be alone anymore. We can be Me Too, and we are fucking ferocious because you see all the petty little chumps like Michael Che pushing back against us. You're just a bitch, Michael. You're a little pussy. So, and that's what it is. You can just see the little cowards coming forward to try to fight us as a league, as a legion, because we are a legion. We are, the number of sexually assaulted people on the face of this planet is at least 1/3. You know what I mean? So that's real shit. People need to deal with us. The thing that fucked me up this morning, though, was when Tarana Burke said that if R. Kelly's victims had been white, they would have done something a lot sooner. And I have two words to say to that: Jeffrey Epstein, okay? So then I thought about it, and no, she's actually not wrong. And so many African Americans have this idea that people don't care about black rape supporters or African Americans specifically because they're black, and that's not really true. They don't care about white rape victims either. We don't get any social support either. There is no fucking place where, unless you are Elizabeth Smart now, unless you are the absolutely little white girl with literally playing a fucking harp who gets pulled out of bed at knife point by a lunatic, there ain't not one drop of sympathy for you. And even Elizabeth Smart takes a ton of shit. Not only from Dave Chappelle, but like from the woman who was involved in all of this crazy shit has now been released from prison, even though she still carries around a book written by the kidnapper, his version of his Bible, in which he claims the rights to kidnap a number of Elizabeth Smart's cousins too. He's like got it in his mind that he's entitled to have like 7 or 8 wives from Ed Smart's family for whatever crazy ass reasons of his own. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I can't imagine what Jayme Closs had to suffer through. I cannot even imagine where so many Native women are that were kidnapped, that nobody even went looking for. You know, that still grates me too. It's like, for every Jayme Closs, there are 100 people that get abducted and grabbed up that nobody gives one fuck about, and a lot of them are of color because they don't fit that media narrative of the blameless little white princess in the palace, right? So all of that is disgusting and horrifying. None of it puts me in a better place psychologically. But I did kind of understand this morning after thinking about a little bit, because I really do respect Tarana Burke's leadership and the way she's another one like an Elizabeth Smart who just deals with a bunch of bullshit coming at her from a bunch of different angles, right? Like I've seen so many people just want to talk shit about her, about so many things. So many dumbass white people talking about Me Too as if it started with Harvey Weinstein, as if everything she did for however many years, starting with just working locally right where she was, none of that counts for anything, even though it was already like a dozen years, at least 10 or 15 years going on, that then Harvey Weinstein was able to blow it up. Okay. People talk, they just erase her like she never even happened. It's the same old whitewashing shit where, no, it starts with Amber Tamblyn, right? No, Amber Tamblyn, it didn't start with you. Even Rose McGowan, no, Rose, it didn't start with you either. It's a Tarana Burke thing. So it's complicated. I hate it that so many of us have been traumatized in so many different ways, and that the same shitty people keep traumatizing everybody. It's basically men. It's white men and it's black men, honestly. It's both. It's men. So, because I thought about what she said. Like, if R. Kelly's victims had been white, would anybody have given a shit? Maybe. I'm gonna go maybe on that one. Maybe not. Because Jeffrey Epstein, okay? The difference there is that Jeffrey Epstein is a white rich guy, and he likes to fuck little white girls. And even when he theoretically kind of did time for it, I guess, kind of, sort of, but none of the other people that were involved went to jail. One of the primary recruiters of these young girls that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked around the fucking world works at Mar-a-Lago. She's employed by Trump. Okay, you see, nobody cares about this. When Angelina Jolie got bothered by Harvey Weinstein, she was already an A-list wealthy white woman celebrity, married to an A-list celebrity, daughter of an A-list celebrity. And even when she got attacked by Harvey Weinstein, her only option was the same option I would have had in Chicago: send my old man over there to deal with him. You know what I mean? Nobody gave a fuck about that. There was no army of people ready to give a shit that somebody grabbed Angelina Jolie's ass. Taylor Swift even. The fucking guy felt free to go and grab Taylor Swift's ass. So she's the little white girl of all little white girls, and she could still get her fucking ass grabbed. So, but basically, it's coming from this thing where white men would often use white women as an excuse to lynch black men and come after them. And the whole mythology of that they're after white women, and that's also involved in a dehumanization of the white women, though. That's, I think, what may not be crystal clear to the African American community, because we also have, like, for example, the white women who couldn't wait to come out and support fucking Roy Moore. Even in this day and age, there are still a pack of white women trying to support Roy Moore, and a prominent attorney who would show up at the high school and take young girls out of the fucking high school so that he could diddle them. I mean, what? So, I don't know. I just hate that so much trauma has been inflicted on so many people that it just keeps... It's like Donald Trump all over again. Like, he just keeps throwing so many bombs and making so many messes and fucking up so many people's lives that we don't even have time to stop him from the other bullshit he's actually doing. You know what I mean? So I just had to kind of share my perspective on that today, because it's so many things on my mind. It's just, I just really hate it. I don't know. Bill Cosby is another good example of a guy who attacked a number of white women, even like Janice Dickinson, you know, wealthy. Again, I don't know if she's A-list exactly, but certainly at least B-list, and she knows plenty of A-list people. She's not, but she don't have anywhere near as much money as Bill Cosby did. And Bill Cosby got away with that shit forever and ever, almost amen. You know, so I guess my point is this: we need to just stick together. We need to understand that it's the same people attacking us all, and that we need to just stand strong together. I could not be a bigger proponent of Me Too, and I just want to thank you guys for listening to me talk about this. Please be kind to each other. Please just respect people. Respect the suffering that other people have been through. Care about other people. Care what happens to other people. It's that simple.